My name is Benjamin Scott Sanchez, and this is my assignment for the GPS grade in Filmmaking Principles and Education. I think the most important thing for me during this course was to learn a new skill, particularly filmmaking principles, as the title of the course says. I have to admit I learned a lot in this course, did a lot of teamwork with the team to create machinima, and that was an interesting challenge, and I learned a lot about production in film, working with other team members in a production environment, particularly in a motion picture production environment. Regardless of the fact that it was in a virtual world, it nonetheless taught me a lot of things about production, filming that I had no clue actually took place. Well, I did have a clue that they took place, but I didn't know how complicated the whole thing could be. So I learned a lot of skills there, and that was a great challenge and very interesting, and I think very practical in this particular degree program. Well, that's an interesting question, because my contribution to the class is all relative, I guess, to what I produce specifically that might be unique to what has not been produced by other members of the class. I'd like to think that during the course of our study this month in the textbook, we all learned to draw some of the same conclusions, at least, about analyzing film and understanding what components of a film to watch and how to use film to better engage the audience and bring them along with us in terms of telling a story. I think the contribution I made to the class that was most significant is probably with respect to my team project, with respect to starting a script. And I think that was something in our team that we actually struggled with, because in our first meeting, while everybody had good ideas, and I think we came up with some really unique ideas, the struggle that I think we had was in getting those ideas off the ground and having somebody actually begin the process of writing something, just getting the brainstorming going, and I think that was a big challenge. I think everybody is a little bit cautious about their own creativity. And even in children and adults, I think we deal with it differently, but we've had enough, how shall I say, disappointment or discouragement in our lives about our creative efforts, that sometimes the creativity that we have takes a lot to be pulled out. And in this particular instance, I think that in our team, I jumped in and said, I'll write a script, even though I'm probably the least effective writer in my particular group. But nonetheless, I started it, and I found that it was a very time-consuming process. So I got through the first scene, started the second scene, and realized it was taking longer than I expected, and I told my team that I was finding that it was very time-consuming, and another team member gladly and readily picked it up and moved on with it and ended up finishing the script. So I think that was great. It was great teamwork, everybody working together to try to accomplish the end result of our particular film. But all in all, I have to say that the particular course, while very fun and very interesting, also took a great deal of effort to bring together aspects in a new skill that I really had no background in. Anything I had done in media production had been done on individually and had not been using film specifically, and so that was taking that new medium and going to the next level with it and understanding film production and all the components of it was a great challenge, and a challenge that I really enjoyed. And I really hope that in the future, moving forward with whatever line of work I go into, that these principles that I learned here will take me a long way in producing better storytelling and thus hopefully better learning for any type of audience.